Alright, so why can't First Amendment Auditors have their own database to compile the information that they're collecting? See that the professional government has all kinds of great sources, like the FBI has a NCIS, and a cop can, within a matter of minutes, find out if you have a warrant for your arrest or anything about your background just on the radio, just making a call to their desk sergeant, and if they get your name, inputting that, and they have all the information they need about you. Employers are supposed to be able to research your name, and if they ask you if you have a criminal record, it doesn't matter what you tell them because they could find out themselves anyway. But that sounds like it costs money, because I've looked on Google and there's like several websites that offer this service, but they're all .coms. They're all going to cost money. Court systems compile the information that's relevant for their type of business, but what about the business of the First Amendment auditor? Okay, it's a very loosely jumbled system of information where you see videos posting as alarming a title as they can, like Tyrant, and try to get a call to action or ask for a call flood, but it's so loosely based. I don't know how it's working for everybody, but it's just a series of individuals trying to pull your attention as much as they can for their own, in a way it seems, selfish need to have some kind of action taken on behalf of them. It's a request for like a personal army when somebody feels like an audit has failed and the video recorder has been slighted. It's almost like we have all these Chicken Littles claiming that the sky is falling, and it's so loosely based that it's really hard to make sense of. I don't participate in any call of actions myself. I have felt upset enough at some videos where I've made a comment of, it's pushed me so far where I'll make a comment on my displeasure of having been witness to a particular scene. Sometimes where the action has happened is just way too far to seem relevant to me. So who really participates in these call to actions with the Tyrant Alert? That's something that's curious to me, because I would think, well, location would be relevant, but if somebody did want to participate in a call flood, they would not want to be located nearby and easily accessed by law enforcement. You see those people who participated in the swatting, they were doing it in different states. Some guy in Ohio got shot or something like that, and the swatter was from California. Most ideal to participate in a call flood or whatever you do for a call of action, to do it in another country, particularly one that has practically no laws against that kind of behavior. I certainly would not want to discourage people from asking for a call flood or people participating in it. It's just, let them do what they want. But you're going to develop a reputation if you call for too many calls to actions and whatever call floods for like the most harmless of situations. I mean, you're going to develop a reputation of maybe being a bit of a loose cannon, okay? And there's plenty of these auditors who seem to be loose cannons, all right? So it's something to compile. You're kind of auditing the cops as well as auditing the auditors as well. Auditors audit each other. Cops investigate each other. It's a part of that whole culture, the whole nature of the business. Okay, it's just you're not only attacking other people, but yourselves. You're eating yourselves when there's nothing else exciting going on. And you got to wonder, you know, the people that participate are motivated in some way, okay, but it's very loose, okay, and it could be tightened up. You could make it more of a militaristic, regimented type of system. All right, it's like right now just a bunch of barbarians thrashing through the forest looking for anything that's suspicious or questionable, and that's it. You know, just kind of pound away at maybe something that looks weird, and then move on. All right, but what about years later? You know, do you want to like prevent the situation from happening over again? Maybe you could look into like compiling the information and making it easier. I looked for on YouTube a situation. I put in First Amendment audit, and it seems like Fort Hood is pretty popular for First Amendment audits. Not Texas is pretty popular. It's like a battleground for First Amendment rights, and maybe it could be because being so close to Mexico or something. If you type in other states and First Amendment audit, like Alabama, you'll get some interesting results. It'd be nice to see that compiled better. I mean, you could do it. You could do a search on YouTube, no problem, and find particular areas, as long as it's put in the title. At the very least, for standardization, putting in the exact location in the title so people can search that before you go out to do your First Amendment in a particular area, build it with a particular government building. You could research before you go out what other people's experience is like. I just did a search on newsflare.com for First Amendment audits, because you could type that right in the search. And there's only like 2 videos for First Amendment audits. Now, I don't know if they're kicking First Amendment audits off, or if it's just nobody's really submitting. Maybe people are submitting more on LiveLeak. I've been more into to submitting things on LiveLeak than NewsFlare. And I was about to praise NewsFlare for having that map where you could look at locations for where videos have occurred, but I can't see it on my iPad. Maybe it's available on my regular laptop, but that would be interesting, because I like the map system. I love maps. I love seeing like locations and pictures from certain areas on the map and all that. And videos, I mean, have to be the next best thing after pictures. And if you could set up a theme with First Amendment audits on a map where they're located and stuff, and maybe have even a calendar too, a map and a calendar, and then you could focus the events that occur on the day and the location. You could search either one, have kind of 2 visuals there where you could keep track of issues that have been coming up, and then they could be voted up and down, kind of on a Reddit situation, where if it's a higher priority that people voted up. There's no doubt in my mind that these First Amendment audits are very popular. Somebody even commented on one of my videos. I've read a lot of these comments that said that, oh, so this is what YouTube's turning into, like a cop channel or something like that. Because police stuff has really gotten popular. It's gotten popular on my channel. I can't get anything else popular. There's nothing. I've tried all types of different videos, health and talk about finance and all that. The things that shoot to the top are cop videos.